turn off your audio. Don't talk anything. Okay. So last lecture we have started the communication point, and in that communication we have seen that what is mean by communication, and we have started the communication types. Okay. So first of all, we have seen the basic communication definition. Then first of all, we have seen written communication point. Okay. So what is mean by written communication? So it has the advantages of the providing the record, references, and legal defenses. A message can be carefully prepared and then directly to a large audience through mass mailing. Okay. So we can send that particular message to throughout the any medium to the mass uh, people at mass quantity. So that is the benefit of the written communication. And written communication can also promote uniformly in policy and procedure, and it can reduce cost in some cases. Okay. So it is easy to send the one of the important messages to in large quantity. So that is a greater advantages. And some of the disadvantages are that written may be contains or a paper. Okay. So we can just easily send the n number of the large n number of the, that is a mass quantity. We can send one message to the mass quantity, that is a written communication. And we will get some if we are not sending a proper message and there is some defect in that message, so we can easily, we will get someone feedback message throughout that system. And this consequently it may take a long time to know whether a message has been received or not. So this is one of the major disadvantages of this written communication. And second type of the communication is oral communication. Okay. So we will see one by one. So what is mean by oral communication? So a great deal of information is communicated orally. Oral communication can occur in face-to-face meeting of two people. Okay. So oral communication may be happen face-to-face or telephonic. That is called as a oral communication in between two peoples. Okay. So in a manager's presentation to a large audience, it can be formal or informal, and it can be planned or accidental. Okay. So uh, actually oral communication can be done with two people face to face or telephonic. Okay. And it is not a planned activity, so it will be planned or it will be accidental. So and it will be formal or informal. So this is not a predefined communication, it is just happened. So it is called as a just formal or informal. Okay. The principle of advantages of the oral communication is that it makes possible speedily interchange with immediate feedback. Means we will get immediate response from the receivers. Okay. So it is a easy medium to communicate with other face to face. We will get immediate response from the receivers, and here understanding level is good. People can ask questions and clarify the points if someone don't understand some of the points. So they can, he or she can directly ask the question at that right time, and she or she can clarify the points. In a face-to-face interaction, the effect can be noted. Okay. म्हणजे बऱ्याच वेळेस फेस टू फेस कम्युनिकेशन करताना जर काय अडचण असेल तिथंच आपण क्लॅरिफाय करू शकतो आणि तिथंच आपल्याला त्याचे इफेक्ट नोटेड करू शकतो आपल्या चेहऱ्याचे एक्सप्रेशनचे वगैरे. फर्दर मोर अ मीटिंग विथ द सुपिरियर मे गिव्ह द सबऑर्डिनेट अ फिलिंग ऑफ द इम्पॉर्टन्स क्लिअरली. जर फेस टू फेस कम्युनिकेशन असेल तर त्या एखाद्या पॉइंटचं, सपोज वी कॅन टेक द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ द वन ऑफ द डिपार्टमेंट मॅनेजर, ही और शी वांट टू से सेंड वन इम्पॉर्टंट message to their team. So if that message is very very important, then their team member will be understand the whatever the importance of that message throughout that manager face expression, face to face communication. So okay, so that is one of the great benefit this oral communication. And they can easily understand the feeling of that importance message clearly. And informal or planned meetings can can be noted. Okay, so can greatly contribute to the understanding of the issues. Means whatever the importance of that message and whatever the uh, feeling of that message, they can understand easily. However, oral communication has disadvantages. It does not always save time. Okay, that is a greater disadvantages. So sometimes we are just busy in talking face to face. We don't know how many times or how longer time we are talking, just we are keeping on. Okay, so that is a disadvantages. So we don't know uh, how many times we are just talking. Okay, so it is does not always save the time. And as any manager knows who has attended meetings in which no results or agreements were achieved, and these meetings can be costly in terms of the time and money. Both factors are very important as a time and money. So in this oral communication, always means not every time we are saving the time from this type of the communication. So it does not save time as well as money also. So these are the some one of the greater disadvantages of this type of the communication over the written communication. In that written communication, we can save our time as well as money also, and we can send one message to the mass n number of the people at a single time. So that is the advantages in written communication over the oral communication. And in oral communication, there are a lot of advantages as compared to written communication. Means face to face we can easily uh, understand the feeling of that point or important message, and we can clarify. Second important point, we can clarify our doubts face to face at that time only. So this is the important advantages of the oral communication. Third type of the communication is non-verbal communication. Okay, so first written, second oral, and third is non-verbal. Exactly opposite of the oral communication, that is a non-verbal communication. So in it includes facial expression and body gestures. Okay, non-verbal communication includes only facial expression and body gesture. We can just whatever want to say something by using our facial expression. We can say easily by using expression and body gesture. We can easily say, suppose someone wants to say please go this side, so we can easily, or by using the hands we can say go this side. Okay, so a non-verbal communication is expected to support the verbal, but it does not always do so. Okay, non-verbal communication मधून आपण एक्सपेक्ट काय करतो की प्रत्येक वेळेस आपल्याला वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन सपोर्ट केला पाहिजे, असं प्रत्येक वेळेस होत नाहीये. म्हणून आपण काय करतो, आपल्या बॉडीच्या जे काय आपण गेस्चर देतो, आपण कसं उभे राहतो, कसं सांगतो, डायरेक्शन देतो, परत चेहऱ्याचे एक्सप्रेशन देतो, ह्याच्या कम्युनिकेशनचा पण आपण यूज करतो. मॅनेजर्स मे स्टेट दॅट दे हॅव अन ओपन डोअर पॉलिसी, बट देन दे मे हॅव अ secretary carefully screening the people who want to see the managers. Okay, so this creates incongruence between the what managers say and what they do. ह्याच्यामुळे काय होतं, कधी कधी जे मॅनेजरची टीम असेल किंवा त्यांच्या डिपार्टमेंट मधले जे काही एम्प्लॉईज असतील, त्यांच्या आणि याच्यामध्ये जे काही नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन होतं. ओके, सो त्याच्यामध्ये कधी कधी एक हे तयार होतं, we can say like some of the type of the distraction, or we can call it some obstacles. Okay, between the managers and म्हणजे मॅनेजर काय बोलतोय ते एम्प्लॉयला समजत नाही आणि एम्प्लॉय काय बोलतोय ते मॅनेजर समजत नाही. ओके, दिस इज इलुस्ट्रेशन ऑफ द नॉइज in the communication process model, and clearly non-verbal communication may support or contradict verbal communication, giving rise to the saying that actions of often speak louder than words. Okay, म्हणजे sometimes action is a स्पीक्स लाउडर दॅन द वर्ड्स. म्हणजे कधी कधी बोलण्यापेक्षा, ओरल कम्युनिकेशनपेक्षा ऍक्शन खूप इम्पॉर्टंट होते. ठीक आहे, त्याच्यासाठी नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन हे important आहे. Okay, so we'll see. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so we will see one of the great best video regarding this communication. So in last lecture we have encountered one audio problem, but now we will overcome that problem. So just wait a minute.
Today we're going to talk about the oral communication.
Okay, now you can just
when we say about oral communication, we're
see.
going to understand it. We're going to know the oral presentation.
You are audible.
The
Anyone just
meanings,
give me just
understanding the
reply.
face-to-face
You can just
conversation,
type in chat box.
mastering the verbal communication, and at the end we'll do a conclusion aspect.
Madan
Now,
Patil.
what is oral communication?
It is audible.
The oral communication is nothing
Okay,
but
no
an
problem.
individual talking to another individual through using words.
We will see now
It is just
what
use
is
of
meant
the
by oral
verbal
communication.
cues
Then we will see the
over here.
difference between the
Speaking
non-verbal and verbal.
clearly, confidently, and with poise, we tend to send across our message very effectively. We are able to communicate it very nicely, and it also becomes easy for an individual at the receiver end to understand it correctly. If I start speaking very fast, it becomes very difficult for a person to understand. Similarly, if I say it very slowly with a lot of pauses, it simply tests a person's patience. And the message across, whatever you wanted to send across, gets lost. So one needs to have a definite pace and, of course, the tone as well. What are the benefits of oral communication? It saves time because it's quick. You have a face-to-face talking. It is more effective as emotions are well portrayed. For example, if I'm talking to you, right, it is just not that you're looking at my words and the verbal, but you're also reflecting on what emotions and feelings that I'm putting my message across. Third, the feedback loop is faster. If I'm talking to an individual sitting in front of me, I ask him, we have a conversation, and then immediately you get a feedback. Either it's a yes, yes, or no, no, or somewhat. The verbal communication is of course very economical because it's just face-to-face. There are no emails or any printers that you need to send across. Last but not the least, the tone is very easy to read and understand. Let's understand what is oral presentation. Now, oral presentation is nothing but a talk that you give to a small group of people or at the conference room or a small presentation. Now, when it comes to oral presentation, the 3 P's plays a very important role. The first P is plan, where you have to plan as to what are you going to talk about, who are you going to talk about, what is the topic, how are you going to do it. The next P is prepare. Prepare your content or the context so well that the information or the message that you're putting across gets absorbed by the receivers very clearly. And the last P is practice. As we all know, practice makes one perfect. So these 3 P's will always play an important role when it comes to presentation. One must focus also on the needs of the audience. Audiences will always play an important role because they will help us to understand who are they, what are their understanding level, what is that they understand, and it helps us to build our content or the context effectively. And of course, one needs to keep it very simple. Let's understand communication during meetings. When we come to business meetings, it is just not that we communicate just ideas or projects, but at the same time, the communication happens with the 4 steps which are very important. The first is prepare by selecting the participants. Who are the participants that you're going to call up for this meeting? Secondly, provide advance notice, and then of course we need to plan. clearly articulated agendas. The last step, the fourth step, is very important, wherein we do a recap. We do a recap of the meeting. At the same time, we also give them actionable steps before concluding. So these four steps contribute to the business communication. Moving forward, let's understand what do you mean by face-to-face conversation. We all know that we do it regularly as well, but often now we have started taking it for granted. Face-to-face communication, oh, big deal. I just said it what I wanted to. But we fail to understand what are the non-verbal cues an individual was giving to us. So when it comes to face-to-face communication, it is just not use of the words, but also the expression, the thoughts and the feelings behind it. So in this discussion, so through the spoken language and the words, particular issues gets resolved very quickly. At times, a person is not able to say it very clearly, but the feelings or the thoughts or the expressions helps us understand what it is. When it comes to face-to-face communication, the benefits are very much, which is we get quick response. Yeah, the feelings are expressed easily because there is a face-to-face, a person is there sitting in front of you to understand you. Next, there is also a discussion that could happen wherein there is sharing of thoughts and ideas at that very moment. And of course, there are less chances of misunderstandings because there are not much channels involved or barriers involved.
In the last 2 years, I went from being in the job and doing things.
Let's see how are we going to master verbal communication. One can master the verbal communication. Think before you speak. It's not required for you to speak at that moment immediately just because somebody wants an answer. You can take a minute, pause, reflect, think over it and then say it. Speak with confidence because that will put across your message very clearly. If you are not yourself confident as to what you are speaking, the receiver might not take your information so strongly. Be clear and concise. Whatever message that you are setting across, state it clear, keep it short and crisp. Be aware of the non-verbal cues, that is, how are you standing? What are your gestures? What is your eye contact? Are you smiling or are you frowning? What are the expressions that is carried while you are talking? Every communication is incomplete if there is not a good listener. So being a good listener is very important. Last but not the least, think about the perspectives of your audience. So let's conclude this topic. When it comes to oral communication, there is a high level of understanding and transparency. Secondly, oral communication works best when we have problem resolution. Anytime at any given moment, if you're stuck and you need a solution to it, just call up that person for a face-to-face meeting and have an oral or a verbal communication. The conflicts, the disputes and the issues and differences that one has can easily be put down if you have an oral communication instead of sending across the text messages or a lot of emails. At times, the way I interpret the text message or the emails again can lead to a lot of misunderstandings. So it's better to call up that person for a face-to-face meeting so that you avoid future differences. The oral communication can be best used to transfer the private and the confidential information. That is very important. At times, if you don't want the message or the information to be leaked out or to get disturbed to the various channels that we've been used in communication, it's always easy to go and a better way to go and talk to that individual face to face. Thank you so much. That's all in this video.
Okay, so we have seen that the oral communication. Okay, so third type of this communication, that is a non-verbal communication. Okay, so we'll see a small difference between the verbal communication versus non-verbal. Okay, so what exact the difference between these two communication and what is the key points, key difference, that points we will see in a short video.
Communication. So friends, let's get started. I'm Surbhi and once again welcome to my channel Key Differences. Today in this video tutorial, I'm going to explain you the difference between verbal and non-verbal communication. So friends, let's get started. After watching this video, you will be able to understand what is communication, what is the process of communication, and what are its types. What is verbal communication and its types. What is non-verbal communication and what are the types of non-verbal communication. Lastly, what is the difference between verbal and non-verbal communication. Now come, let's understand the meaning of communication. Communication is the process of interacting with people. No matter whether you speak something or not, but your behavior, attitude, or body language conveys a message to the other party, meaning that communication is not dependent on words. It is possible even without the use of words. So now we are going to understand the process of communication. In the process of communication, the sender encodes a message through a proper channel, that is email, phone, SMS, etc., to the receiver. The receiver decodes the message and after interpreting it, gives a proper feedback through a proper channel to the sender. So in this way, the process of communication continues. So now we are going to understand the types of communication. So on the basis of channel, there are two types of communication: verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Come, let's understand the meaning of verbal communication. The communication in which we use words and language to communicate the intended message to the other party is called verbal communication. It can be performed in two ways, that is oral communication and written communication. Oral communication is a communication through spoken words, that is face-to-face communication, voice chat, video conferencing, or communication over the telephone or mobile phone. On the other hand, written communication entails the use of letters, documents, emails, SMS, various chat platforms, social media, etc. to interact with people. What is non-verbal communication? Non-verbal communication is a wordless communication, as it does not use words. The communication takes place through signals such as facial expressions, body language, nodding of head, gestures, postures, eye contact, physical appearance, and so forth. Now come, let's understand the types of non-verbal communication. Kinesics. The communication through body language, facial expressions, gestures, postures, eye contacts is called as kinesics. In artifacts, you learn how the appearance of a person speaks a lot about his personality. That is, the way he or she is dressed, accessories carried by him, etc. Proxemics. The distance maintained by a person while communicating with another tells you a lot about their relationship. Chronemics is the use of time in communication. It tells you about how punctual or disciplined a person is, or how serious the person is regarding the matter. Vocalics. The volume, tone of voice, and pitch used by the sender to transmit information is called vocalics. Haptics. The use of touch in communication to express emotions and feelings is called haptics. Come, let's discuss the difference between verbal and non-verbal communication. Meaning, verbal communication is the process of communication in which words and language is used to transmit the message to another person. Whereas in non-verbal communication, we do not use words. Instead, we use signals to transmit the message. The signals can be facial expressions, eye contact, body language, paralanguage, sign language, etc. Next, in verbal communication, the transmission of message is very fast and feedback can also be provided instantly. Whereas non-verbal communication relies on the understanding of the receiver, so it consumes a lot of time. When it comes to delivery of message, there are very less chances of confusion in case of verbal communication. Contrary to this, the chances of confusion and misunderstanding are relatively high in non-verbal communication. In verbal communication, the presence of both the parties, that is sender and receiver, at the place of communication is not necessary. As against, in non-verbal communication, the presence of both the parties at the time of communication is a must. The best thing about verbal communication is that the message can be clearly understood and feedback can also be provided immediately. Whereas, the best thing about non-verbal communication is that it complements verbal communication. That is, it helps in understanding the lifestyle and emotions of the sender. Okay guys, this is all for this video. Now if you want to study the topic in detail, you can visit our official website, that is keydifferences.com. Here you can find a detailed comparison of the two types of communication along with their definitions. We have also provided the links in the description below. So friends, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please like and share this video. And if you have any queries or feedback for me, don't hesitate to comment below. And please like our channel to never miss a video from Key Differences. Okay then, bye-bye for now.
Good grammar and
Okay, so you see okay, so we have seen the difference between key difference between verbal and non-verbal communication. Okay, so we'll see just overview of the this communication part. Okay, so communication process already we have seen. Just we will take the one review regarding this last point. Afterwards we will start the controlling point. That is a second part of this third chapter, leading and controlling. So communication is a part of the leading point. So after that leading point we will see the controlling point. So what is meant by communication? So as per the previous definition, that's just sharing the information in between the two people, two or more peoples or groups to reach a common understanding. Okay, this is one of the definition. Second is the communication is the process of the exchanging information, thoughts and understanding between the peoples. Why the communication is important? Good communication. Okay, not only communication, as good communication. So now you can see there are different points. As per that point, communication is important for the our process. So first point is the increased efficiency in new technology and skills. So due to that communication, we can increase the efficiency in new technologies and skills. This is respective to our organization. Expands worker skill. So not only doing the technical or routine work, so we can improve your communication, and from that communication you can just increase your professional skills also. Improved quality of products and services. Okay, subordinates communicate problems and solutions for increasing the quality to superiors. So once you get the command on the communication, now you can just communicate with your subordinates, superiors, managers, and that things we can give some good solution for increasing the quality of the each that call as a subordinates, superiors. Okay, increase the responsiveness to the customer. If customer is asking some questions and give some feedback in English or in communication in each and there are 3 4 type of the language, so we should able to give some answers from that customer concern. Okay, so it will be increase some responsiveness, then more innovation through communication, important to manager, planning, decision making, coordination and controlling, that thing also improving, then implementation of the plan, then motivation to change people attitudes throughout this communication, public relations, training and development. So according to these 13 parameters, the communication is very important. Okay, so already we have seen the purpose of the communication. So already we have done the planning, organizing, staffing, leading, controlling. As per that different managers points, the communication is very important as per the external environment like customer, our stakeholders, government policy. Okay, then what are the steps in communication process? Sender with their own thoughts, own ideas, messages, information, and according to that ideas, he or she will be going to be send his or her message to the receiver. And once they receive the message, they start in the decoding that message and they will understand. If any problem regarding the noise, they will send some feedback to the again senders. Sender will be again correct that error, and he or she will be send the message to receiver. Then next point is the types of the communication. So simple, there are two types, that's verbal and non-verbal. So in that verbal communication, there are again the two types like formal communication, informal. So in that formal communication, they have said the two types of the communication, that is a downward and upward. We can just talk in professional language as per the organization requirement. Informal, in that again three types: lateral, diagonal, and Gravino. We can talk in general with our friends, with our family, with our colleagues. Okay, and second important type is non-verbal. That is one type, the kinetic. Okay, so already we have discussed regarding the main 3 point types of the communication. That is a written, oral, and non-verbal. That is a name of this different type of the communication only. Okay, and these are the in details type of the communication is there listed in this flowchart. Then what are the forms of the communication? Already we have discussed, we have seen one video also, non-verbal communication. So what is exact that non-verbal communication? Through signs and symbols. We are just expressing our thoughts, our information messages throughout the just giving some signals, signs and symbols, not our mouth. Non-verbal can go without verbal communication. Okay, म्हणजे नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन हे आपण वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन न वापरता सुद्धा पुढे जाऊ शकतो. वर्बल कांट गो विदाउट नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन. एक्झॅक्टली वाईस वर्सा, वर्बल कांट गो विदाउट नॉन वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन. जर आपल्याला बोलायचं असेल तरी आपण म्हणजे कुठेतरी एक्सप्रेशन होतात आपले चेहऱ्यावरचे होतात, तर हे शक्य नाहीये. फक्त वाईस वर्सा नॉन वर्बल आपण वापरू शकतो वर्बलच्या विदाउट. सो वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन काय आहे? इन दॅट फॉर्मल कम्युनिकेशन इज देअर. We use this type of the communication in offices and social gathering. Two type of the formal communication. Downward. Downward means higher designation to lower. Whatever the instruction messages from the higher authority, they are transferring to the lower authority. That is called as a downward communication. One-way communication with there. So example, boss ordered his worker. Simple and easy example. Here, effect of this type of the communication is very much than upward communication. Okay. Then upward communication, lower designation to higher designation. Example, worker request to his boss. Just requesting, not giving order. So that is called as upward communication. So here is the effect of the communication is less than the downward communication. So whatever the power of the communication is there, so downward type of the communication is higher power compared to the upward. In the second, written communication, so it involves any type of the message that makes use of the written word, and written communication is the most important and the most effective of any mode of the business communication. So it is a very easy and understanding communication as compared to other communication, and it is required less time and it will be save the money. So examples of the written communication generally used with clients or other business includes like email writing, internet websites, letters, fax, postcards, advertisements, brochures, and news releases. So that are the examples where we can use the written communication. Throughout this written communication, we can try to say our message throughout this different medias. Okay. So this is the example of the written communication. So now you can see one figure is there. So face-to-face communication. So the way where message is conveyed throughout the our body language, words, and voice. Now you can see around 50% area covered under the body language. So we can express our body language and expression, and we can try to send our message to our receiver. And oral communication 40% weightage there, and words 10%. Okay, so that are the just one example where we can see the weightage of the different our gesture, body gesture communication. Then buyers behavior and market control. Okay, so market control is an attempt to achieve specified economic or political goals through the deliberate manipulation of the factors such as supply, demand, pricing, transportation, or taxation. So this is the point covered under the controlling points. Okay, so today we have covered the communication points. So in next lecture we will see the controlling point, means whatever that we have started from the first of the point, that's a planning, then organizing, then leading and controlling. Okay, from that point we have started covering the or improving the communication between the each and every department, as well as we have to control each and every process throughout the each and every department. So how to control that process, and what are the different types, what are the different standards we are setting from the organization side. So that things we will cover in our next lecture. And whatever we have covered in the first today's lecture and this second lecture, that is our communication type. Okay, so in that point we will see one by one in next lecture.